Hello there, it's Stevo here from the Elite FPL podcast, and as explained on Instagram and Twitter, I'm bored out my mind and I thought I'd ask the community if you want me to answer any questions. And a few of you have come in with a few questions, so this will be short and sweet, unlike most of my solo podcasts, but no, I just thought, you know what, while I've got nothing to do, I'll go ahead and answer some questions that you have concerns regarding Game Week 38. Majority, of course, being transfers, who to be bringing in, who to potentially captain. So yeah, we'll just get straight to it. And one of our Twitter community, Rafi Ali, he asked, who is the best Son replacement? Of course, I'm in this dilemma at the moment. I own Son, and what I recommend is, for myself, is to be looking at the fixtures. Now, obviously, myself, Dan and Jason will be doing a preview for Game Week 38 regarding what we believe will be, the best game for attacking prospects, or even clean sheet prospects. But of course, Son is an attacking player, so we don't need to worry about defensive options at the moment. But from my point of view, looking at this particular game week coming up. Now, I'm just going to assume Rafi has the 8.6 in the bank, which is what Son is at the moment. So you're kind of ruling out Man City options there. But this game here, Crystal Palace Bournemouth, Fulham versus Newcastle, Leicester versus Chelsea, maybe Southampton, maybe Everton, and maybe this game here, Watford West Ham. They, for me, are potentially the biggest scoring games this particular game week. So I'm not really seeing a high score in basically Burnley versus Arsenal, Liverpool versus Wolves, or Man United versus Cardiff. Now, I'm fully aware that's 7 fixtures, 14 teams in which to choose from. But then you've got to break it down to, well, who's got the cheapest players? Well, you're looking at Watford West Ham, Everton, Fulham Newcastle, Leicester, Crystal Palace Bournemouth. And do you know what? In my opinion, if we go to the transfers here, I honestly think that looking at Leicester players is best. Now, when we do our preview for the game week coming up, obviously we will be telling you what our scores will be, but I honestly think that Leicester have a real opportunity here to, I think the word destroy is a bit strong, but I do think that Tielemans at 6 million is potentially an absolute, well, I wouldn't say a certainty to get attacking returns, but if you look since game week 28, he has returned some form of points attacking wise in quite a lot of fixtures. So barring game week 34 versus Newcastle at home and away at Man City, he has actually scored really, really well. And he is somebody that I'm genuinely looking at to bring in. I think Maddison as well. I think Maddison is certainly another option to be looking at, potentially. His creativity this season has been absolutely sublime. I believe he's one of the highest creative players in the whole of Europe, Europe's top 5 leagues, as they call it. And, he's relatively consistent, but what do you expect for a 6.6 playing midfielder playing for Leicester, So I think certainly Maddison and Tielemans, for me, are 2 players to be certainly looking at from a midfielder perspective. If you're looking at the Bournemouth Crystal Palace game, I know they're highly owned, but certainly players like, I'm stating the obvious here, Ryan Fraser. Now, David Brooks is somebody that I'd be considering to look at, but he's injured at the moment. He's got a 75% chance of playing. I'm fully aware that a lot of this is going to come down to the press conferences that the manager's going to give us. I'm fully aware of this. But, it is worth noting that David Brooks has had a really, really good season, and prior to, I'm assuming he got his knock in the Southampton game. I don't know, as you can see, this is starting to come down, but got an assist versus Southampton away. Look at that, a 12-pointer away at Brighton and Hove Albion. it seems to me that he can get his double-digit hauls when he wants to be. He had one at home versus Chelsea of all teams. Again, at home to Brighton, he got 15 points. There's your bit of history there. So David Brooks may be someone to look at. Ryan Fraser, of course. Someone I mentioned in the podcast the other day, if I hadn't have brought in Son for Fraser, I would have gained 23 points. But again, a player to be certainly looking at. Last few games, a 16-point haul away at Brighton. Home to Tottenham, he got 9 points away at Southampton, got 5 points away at Huddersfield. So maybe actually Ryan Fraser may be somebody to be looking at, especially the fact that Crystal Palace are so bad at home. Crystal Palace options, again, as I just stated, aren't really particularly looking at, mainly because of their home record. But Townsend, got a double-digit haul just the other day away at Cardiff. It is Cardiff at the end of the day. I mean, overall, he's got 5 goals, 5 assists this season. Can't really see him returning much this week. But obviously, standout ones will be Milivojevic. This is midfielders, by the way. But Fulham's another one as well, where maybe looking at, obviously Dan brought in Ryan Babel, and he's certainly somebody to potentially be looking at. 5.6 million. You've got a lot of money to play with when replacing Son. He's only 8.6, and there's a lot of money to be playing with. And Ryan Babel, recent returns, 9 points away at Watford, at home to Everton, getting a goal and assist, and he got a goal at home to Cardiff. So straight away, a couple of home fixtures there. Maybe he's a home player. There it is again. Home to Chelsea, got an assist. So potentially Ryan Babel. These are actually questions I'm asking myself, to be honest with you. So I certainly think that a few of those options there are definitely worth looking at. A regular contributor, FBL Booner, simply asked the question of, who would I choose out of Zaha and Pogba? For me, right now, I think Zaha. His form of late has been fantastic. I'm probably going to be proven wrong now I bring his information up, but every week it seems to be Zaha's either scored or got an assist, and I mean, there you can see it straight in front of you right there. Cardiff away recently, got a goal. Away at Arsenal, got a goal. Seems to be a pattern here again. Away seems to be in a way. Again, I've just explained this because obviously Crystal Palace aren't so good at home. That it's really down to if you really do think that they may actually turn it on at home. And like I said, their record at home this season has been really, really poor. He did get 2 assists at home to Huddersfield, however, but again, no disrespect, but that's Huddersfield. So really it's a case of, alright then, what's Pogba's stats looking like recently? Well, we all know the answer to that. It's not particularly that great. But they're at home to Cardiff. He's guaranteed to start. He's bound to play the central midfield role. And, I mean, it's just a quadruple of 2-pointers coming in there. That is not good to look at all. However, at home to West Ham, he got 15 points, 2 goals. Barring that, he has been on an absolute dire run. So, do you know what, Booner? I would go with Zaha, if I'm honest with you. I'd probably go with Wilfried Zaha. At the end of the day, it'd be a bit of a differential as well. Be something nice to bring in. And the final question from another regular contributor, FPL Kid, he simply asks, should he captain Rondon as a differential to basically climb high up the ranks? My answer is, well, like I'm doing now, live, look at his recent stats. As Jason said the other day, form over fixtures. I'm somebody that does believe in that. Let's look at Rondon's form as of late. And the simple answer is, if this decides to load up, his form's really good. Can't lie here. Goal and assist versus Liverpool of all teams. But remember, it's the away form we're really looking at. And, okay, yeah, he got an assist versus Brighton. But he seems to be a home player, so to speak. Although, saying that, got a goal away at Bournemouth. I personally think it'd be too much of a risk, captaining Rondon. If I was risking players to captain to climb the ranks, it would be somewhat like, again, this all depends on what the managers say in their press conferences. But Southampton, Redmond, Shane Long at home to Huddersfield, can see them doing something. Man City, if Sane is confirmed to play, if Mahrez is confirmed to play, Jesus, it is unlikely, certainly worth a punt. Wolves, could they upset Liverpool? Why not? You know, their form versus the top six, admittedly predominantly at home, but their form versus the top six, pretty good. I'm going for a tight game there, personally. Leicester, this is the differential captain for me to try and climb the ranks. I'm seriously thinking of going Jamie Vardy. I think he could potentially get a double-digit score versus Chelsea. And that's what my gut's telling me. We all know what I said about my gut the other day. I wish I'd just listened to it a lot of the time. And yeah, I think maybe Jamie Vardy could be the one to potentially bring in. So yeah, there we have it. Well, I'm going to end it there. It's been less than 12 minutes, this video, so thank you for watching. Just answering a few questions there from a few of the Elite FPL community. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up, like button. It does help the video. If you've enjoyed the Elite FPL content lately and you haven't subscribed, please hit, and you want to subscribe, please by all means hit that subscribe button. We continually put out regular content. Just to let you guys know that we will be doing our Game Week 38 preview probably tomorrow evening, which is Thursday, at the usual time of about 6:30. So join us then live, where you can get in more questions answered by myself, Dan and Jason. Cheers guys, and see you soon.